This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You can join me, the fan, Zach Halverson, at Yellow Ribbon Ribfest this Saturday from 1 to 3. You can stop by for great food, live music, and your chance to secure some KFAN swag. You can also learn more about Yellow Ribbon Ribfest during the next break at KFAN.com/watch. We'll show off some of the ribs and talk to Keith Peterson about all the great happenings this Saturday. Yellow Ribbon Ribfest.org, KFAN.com/calendar.
What city, Zachary?
Arden Hills.
Arden Hills.
That's right, yes.
Saturday. Arden Hills.
Sweet.
That's right.
Arden
So much
Hills.
going on. Look at all the things going on in the world. Look who's sitting over there. Look who the big surprise guest is over there.
Look at Brooks Bollinger over there.
Look at him.
Parker Fox is back there, too. We got a gopher. We got a badger. They're fighting to the death.
We got a Kansas State guy.
Man, we have whatever meat sauce is.
Good question.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Brooks. Paul. Brooks.
Hi. Way to go, man.
Brooks. Ben. Brooks.
He goes, way to go, man. He shakes his hand. He goes, way to go, man. Way to go.
Do you just mean like in life that Brooks is doing well or
Brooks
what?
is A+.
Okay. Way to go, Brooks.
That is a hell of a way to greet someone. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, like
you got to feel good on the other end, right,
yeah.
Brooks? Like,
feel great.
Yeah.
That matters.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah, welcome to the show, and way to go, man.
Yeah, way to go, man. You made it in here.
You made it.
I don't know.
Way to go.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
You woke up today. Nice job.
That is a great way to talk to, like, introduce yourself to somebody. Hey, Paul, way to go, man.
way to go, man.
Way to go, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you. It's like you start off with immediate compliment. And you're like, well, thanks. Like, immediate icebreaker. Well, I appreciate that.
But more
Thanks,
often
Paul.
than not, it's going to come off as condescending. Like if you go through self-checkout at Target and that person's always like, have a nice day. If you go, way to go, man. It's going to sound like, thanks for not helping. You got to be careful when you say,
I don't think
way
it's
to go, man.
used in everyday situations.
Just when you shake the hand of somebody you've known for a while.
Yeah, sure.
Way to go, man.
Way to go, man.
Yeah. Hey, Brooks.
It was a little sarcastic.
It did sound. I know. I can tell. Yeah.
No.
He's got to work on the tone, but I like the
Way to go,
words. I like the
man.
phrasing.
Brooks, I'm looking at a picture of you in a Minnesota Vikings jersey right now. How much more did you weigh as a player than you do now?
It's just different. Not maybe 8 pounds.
Is that it? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's just gone different places.
I feel you on that, brother. Quit
Way to
bragging.
go, man.
Way to go, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about, were you about the same playing weight the entire time, like even in college and all that stuff?
Yeah, I got a little heavier about the middle of my career, but
All the drinking?
no, I was working hard.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was all
Right.
muscle.
I always say I played in the NFL with an accountant's body, though. So no offense to the accountants out there.
Man, we talked about your Badgers earlier. Huge underdogs
Wow.
against Alabama
That's
this
big, man.
weekend.
Yeah.
20.5 points or something. Big underdogs.
How about that?
Yeah. And it sounds like a couple of the who was it? Was it Flash and Tommy? Shockingly, I think it's going to be an absolute rout.
That's shocking.
Yeah, shocking.
shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's been a grind. So, and obviously Tuscaloosa it's a different animal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but they're so down on their own team and program right now. I know it's going to be a packed place, and I know do they sing Bright Side? What? I forget the song they sing
What
down
song
there.
did they sing, Hawk?
Oh, they sing a song sung low by
Neil Diamond?
Neil Diamond. It's a weird.
Yeah, it's a weird one,
That's why
but you
they
know,
don't get fired up. I
if
don't know
the kids
what's wrong.
love it, the kids love it.
well, Alabama's not exactly dialed in right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that you guys are not completely comfortable with your quarterback situation, but they're super down. Like, they have zero confidence in their program.
That's one of those things, like you would see a sign on College Game Day that says Kalen DeBoer loves smooth jazz.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
As a rip. Yeah, no, he's in trouble, obviously. It sounds like they're not real thrilled with him down there. But, so what for patience in 2025, right? Why wait? Let's just be mad immediately. Anyway.
Brooks,
Way to
I know
go, man.
you didn't expect us coming in here, but I'm putting you on the spot anyway.
Oh, great.
All right. So we're talking to Aaron Jones after the game, and he tells this story, which has become big news now. He tells Ben about how JJ in the huddle looks around at everybody and when they're trailing 17-6 and says, "Is there any place else you'd rather be right now? How much fun is this?" As a quarterback, do you feel that responsibility to carry the emotional well-being of your team on your shoulders all the time?
Yeah, I think in that huddle you do for sure from a young age. And, It's a hard thing. I think you either got it or you don't. I think there's a lot of, it's certainly something that if you're not comfortable, you force it. It can go, and Ben, you could comment on this, but it could go bad as well. If it's not authentic and you don't believe it. I think that happens to a lot of guys. So I think that's the thing that JJ has, and he's just kind of born with, and he's always had, and it's authentic. So I think it showed through.
Yeah, and I would say that all of these, like this situation, it's not the first time that he's flashed that sort of leadership. And if that was the first time that he says something profound, or he says something that's sort of like present or whatever, like showing great awareness, I think guys would be a little shocked by it. To Brooks's point, then it would seem like, well, this is out of character for you, or maybe this is just your game day personality. But it sounds like, a lot of these guys, some of the great leaders that we've been around, whether they're quarterbacks or not, like it's kind of just who they are on a day to day. So it almost, because it doesn't, you can sniff out the BS, and this guy has been the complete opposite, like since the second he got here. So I think, maybe it was surprising for Aaron Jones to hear those words in that moment. But once you hear those words, you're like, well, this is kind of on par with his personality. This is just who he is. And even JJ said it like, and then he's like, and then you just smile, like, you say it and then you just like smile at the guys. And he's like, it's, he said something like, a smile goes a long way or whatever. Like it does seem like very genuine and authentic, because it's him. It's what he's been doing since the day he got here, even though he didn't play it all last year because he was on the sidelines with injury. Guys saw his personality and they realize it's real.
It has to be real, though, right? Like you said, quarterbacks. I think people lump that in. I think it should be in the quarterback of a DNA, but it oftentimes isn't as well, right? And if it isn't authentic, you lose that team that fast, as fast as you gain them. But I remember the day I got drafted, my uncle played in the NFL as well. The day I got drafted, he called me and he said, "You're a pro. There's one thing that your team is going to respond to is you making plays. Do your job." So I think on the other side of that is, over time, we talk about this, and that stuff is important. It matters. But there's one thing that matters at the end of the day in that position is you got to make the throws. You got to make the plays. And, I mean, you give, there's time, and it's a long sample size to figure that out. But at the end of the day, you got to play in that league.
Yeah, well, it is a delicate balance. Like you have to be the guy that's ripping the ball and making plays, and you also have to be kind of the dude when it comes to just your personality. Let me say this publicly, because Hawk, you know how I feel about this. That moment that we had with Aaron Jones, that all 100% credit goes to hockey. People don't know that behind the scenes what really happened, and I'll just tell you what the story is. So we are talking to Jordan. We are getting ready to talk to Jordan Mason for the actual on-air interview. Aaron Jones has a locker right next in this locker room. Aaron and I have a good relationship. He comes over, we dap each other up. He daps up hockey. We're just talking as like just people, and like we're saying like great game. Like, oh my gosh, how about JJ? Whatever. And he leans into us privately and tells us that story. So we're off air. We're just waiting for Jordan Mason. Jordan's he's getting tied up with other interviews. We go down and talk to Van Ginkel. We come back, and as we're coming back after we talk to Jordan, Hawk then says, "Hey, do you think we can go talk to Aaron again and get permission from him to share that story?" And I said, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea." So we go back to Aaron, and I said, turn to Hawk, and I said, "Do you want me to just ask permission for later on, or do you want this, on recorded? Like this is another recorded bit?" And he's like, "Well, let's just see if he'll record it." So I asked Aaron, and I'm like, "Hey, that story you told us about JJ, would you mind going on record and saying that story?" He goes, "I don't mind at all." So then Hawk immediately starts recording on the microphone, and he tells us the story, and then, 30 seconds into the story, the whole scrum of reporters come in behind us and kind of fill in to ask questions as well. So I just want to say, like, without the persistence of Hawk kind of going back and thinking like this would be great to either have in our back pocket for Monday or for Tuesday, or just something that we can get on recorded now, let's just go back and check. So like, Hawk, fantastic work.
Thank you, Matt.
Great job.
Thank you. appreciate that.
Always thinking about like what we could be doing better, or what else we could grab in the locker room. Because without that, I think I would have just taken that anecdotal story and be like, well, that's really cool. Let's save that in my mind for like if it comes up again. You're like, let's do it now.
Sauce, Hawk.
Thank you very
Hawk
much.
sauce.
Happy for you.
No. Hawk sauce, Hawk.
What are you supposed to say? Remember we said the Brooks?
Glad to be here.
How did you already forget? We did that bit for like 3 minutes. You're supposed to say, way to go, man.
Yeah, way to go, man.
Ben just gave Chris a compliment. I reintroduced you so you could say, way to go, man. And you were like, what do I do?
Well, it was a nice moment for Hawk.
That's why I was trying to keep it going and have you say, way to go, man.
Way to go, man.
There it is.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We got there.
Thank you. No, it means a lot. Thank you.
Yes. That one meant a lot, Paul. That was perfect.
That's sweet, Hogs. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for saying
go,
that.
man.
I appreciate it.
Man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, we got there.
That's cool.
We got
Thank
there.
you. I do love that kid too, by the way, right? Is there anybody?
Aaron Jones?
He's the best.
He's the best. And here's the thing with Aaron Jones is, I don't know if you probably didn't get a chance to be to like notice pregame or whatever, because you were up in the booth. But when I'm down on the field and Pete and I are doing our Fox 9 hit and whatever and all this stuff, and you just hang around the sidelines, the amount of NFL people, because ESPN brought their whole, they brought everybody to this thing. And then you have all the national people that are there. Anyway, so many people come up specifically to dap him up and give him a hug.
Yeah.
Like, he is beloved by everybody in the league, like reporters, players. Like, I'm surprised he can even go out at that time to warm up.
That smile, man. And he brings the sombrero to every game.
He does, yeah.
I never see him hardly ever wear, but he brings
You were
it
going to
all
say
the time.
sobriety. He brings the sobriety to the team.
Well, somebody's got to.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to .com Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network in a second. Jonathan Grenard in like 20 minutes. That's going to be awesome. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
Why did you turn on the Power Trip the right day? Because here's Zach. He's got to tell you this, Rubes.
This football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest, learn more, and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest. And Chris?
Yeah?
I believe we
do. You're
a
on
new
top
winner.
of it, brother. We do. Yeah, that's right. Thanks to our friends at Bell Bank. And by the way, thanks for bringing Tom Pelissero to us every Thursday at 8:20. Our entrance name this week was Sam Malone.
Come on.
That's right. You know him. You love him.
Sam Malone?
I don't know.
Guy?
A Sam
Yeah, the
Malone, at
bar
the very
guy.
least. And he nominated the Children's Home Society of Minnesota. Children's Home Society of Minnesota's mission is to provide care and help in finding families for orphaned children. Their website is chlss.org. chlss.org. The Children's Home Society of Minnesota. Thanks to Bell Bank. $1,000,
man,
for you guys. We appreciate you very much, Bell Bank, and we appreciate you, Children's Home Society of Minnesota. Thank you, Sam Malone. Go ahead.
If your last name is Malone and you're having a kid, there's like 4 things you can't name that kid. Can't name it Sam.
Yep.
No.
Can't name it Carl.
Bugsy.
No.
Can't name it Post.
No.
And you can't name it Leave 'em. Those are like the 4 things you cannot name.
That's funny. That's funny.
Carl Malone. Get it? It's like Leave 'em alone.
Leave 'em alone.
Get
Yeah.
Post over there?
Nobody-
Is that somebody
Anybody?
famous?
Anybody?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I get it.
Good
No,
job,
you're
buddy.
keeping up. Way to go, man.
Yeah. Good job, buddy.
All right.
Do we have our guest on, Mr. Zacco Directo?
We do.
Oh, Lordy. There he is from Bell Bank himself, the NFL Network superstar, the face of the NFL, Tom Pelissero. Hi, Tom.
What's happening, fellas?
Hi, Tom.
We're feeling
Everybody.
good. You know, as you well know, because, you know, you have a stately manor, a castle-like place here in the Twin Cities. We're all fired up around here about our quarterback and our team. How's it feeling around the league? Are you seeing the similar things, the similar excitement for our squad?
Well, first of all, so there's 2 parts to this with anything Vikings with me. There's the professional part of it where you talk to people the entire, I mean, in this case, you know, about JJ McCarthy for like a year and a half, and you know what the expectations are, and then you see it play out. The other part of it is I did grow up here. And so everyone I know from growing up, high school friends, family, everyone's a Vikings fan. So I get the entertainment value of still being on like the group texts during the game where there were probably 100 different text messages, including one saying like, should have kept Daniel Jones in the first half of that game. And then you get to see the tide turn to the point that the guy who wrote that text message around the fourth quarter said, I'm sorry about that bleep I said about Daniel Jones. That's the experience of watching that game on Monday night. In terms of, what people around the league saw, it was, this is kind of what J.J. McCarthy is. It did not look good in the first three quarters. There was kind of a frantic aspect to it a little bit in the pocket at times. The protection wasn't great. Not having Darisaw, didn't help. But what you saw was where Kevin O'Connell, this is part of his brilliance in coaching that position and coaching this team, which is, he's not going to say, hey, we got to prove why we took this guy at number 10. We're going to throw the ball all over the place. You're going to play the style of game you think that it takes to win. They really wanted to focus in on the plays that J.J. McCarthy was comfortable with. And there's always part of that in the game planning process, get the ball to your weapons. But they also wanted to see him function in the system and begin to build confidence. And so, I think it's fair to say that, there was a conservative aspect a little bit to the play calling in the early going, just because, you don't want him dropping back and trying to play hero ball. But you saw when they kind of, took the reins off a little bit toward the end of that game. And then even on the, the touchdown that he has, you run a zone read, they don't set the edge, and JJ makes the right read, pulls the ball, and runs into the end zone. That's something that the coaches also have talked about when I've spoken to people there, which is people don't know how athletic J.J. McCarthy is. Well, you saw that in one of the pivotal moments of the game. They allowed him to make the call, keep the ball himself, and run it into the end zone. Was it a perfect game start to finish? No, but given some of the challenges that they had in that game, including not having the blindside protector for your quarterback in his first time out, to get that win on the road, and obviously everything that Brian Flores did defensively. I mean, that's why the Vikings have a way of winning all these games. You can knock them for winning a bunch of one-score games, or you can credit Kevin O'Connell and the staff for really putting these guys in position where situationally there might not be a better team in the NFL.
Tom, I know we'll probably get more into the actual Vikings game on Monday night, but I want to get your sense of just week one overall, because I feel like, and I know this is really hard to quantify, it was the best opening week we've ever had or whatever, but it does seem like the week one of the NFL hit the ground running with the game on Thursday night. We had a game on Friday. We had Spitgate. We had the Ravens-Bills game on Sunday night. Then it was followed up by the epic comeback with J.J. McCarthy and all this other stuff on Monday night, which leads him to be the NFC Player of the Week. Offensively, it's like you look at the last 4 or 5 days of the NFL, and it's like it couldn't have started off any better.
I was in New England for the Raiders-Patriots opener, and so whenever I'm at a game, which is pretty infrequent at this point, but you kind of miss a lot of the, I'm listening to Scott Hansen in Red Zone in one ear, but then you're down on the field and you're in the locker room and you kind of don't see things. So I get back to my hotel and I'm watching just, Red Zone in the second half of the games. Like the 49ers Seahawks finish was completely bonkers. Like it was back and forth, and Brock Purdy makes a huge throw to Ricky Pearsall, and then the wild touchdown at the end to his fifth string tight end. In any other week, you would have gone oh man, that might have been the game of the week. I don't think that was in the top 5 in week one across the NFL. I mean, anytime that you can not get past the opening kickoff of a game without a major injury and a pool report like we did in Thursday night's opener with the Eagles and the spitting and all that stuff, that you're in for a wild ride. But between that, the Brazil game was fantastic. Obviously the Jets game against the Steelers was back and forth and was completely wild. The Ravens-Bills game and then the Vikings-Bears game. I mean, yeah, you can't get better than that. But here we are, and kick off week 2 tonight with two of the best teams in the NFC from a year ago, with the Packers and the Commanders. Micah Parsons there. I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL, especially in the early going. If you look across the scope of the league, I mean, how many teams are even just non-competitive in week one? Clearly the Dolphins were. You probably can argue that the Giants were non-competitive, at least offensively, but everybody else, it was a really, really entertaining week. And now comes, and Ben, you know this really well, now you start to get the reality check a little bit, because week one can be weird. There's more unscouted looks. There's schematic changes. You haven't seen how teams are going to use their personnel. Now, as you begin to gather that tape really through the course of September here, you get a little bit closer to the place of, okay, the unknown is stripped away. Let's find out who the really good teams are, and that starts in week 2.
Tom Pelissero, one of the games, it's the only 325 game this weekend, is the Chiefs hosting the Eagles. I know you don't care about this, but the Eagles are a favorite. After what you saw on Friday night, what do you think of this Chiefs team, and are they not the powerhouse they used to be?
I would say this, and I'm always cautious about making bold statements, especially after week one about X's and O's, but I don't know how you come out of the first week of games and not say the Ravens and the Bills are the two teams to beat in the AFC. And obviously, defensively, they both had issues. Derrick Henry has a big fumble late in that game, but there's a level at which they're playing, and the personnel is at a level that just looks different than everybody else. I remember we talked about it on this show when you guys were asking, best team I'd seen through the course of camp. I said I saw the Bills and the Ravens on back-to-back days, and I don't know that it gets better than that. Now, I didn't go through Kansas City, and anytime you have Patrick Mahomes, who's there at the end every single year, I'm in no way writing off the Chiefs, but they're banged up at wide receiver. They're not getting Rashee Rice back until next month. Now Xavier Worthy, even though it sounds like they dodged a bullet on that one, he's potentially going to miss a little bit of time here. That threw off their entire game plan, by the way. When Xavier Worthy got hurt, he was a huge part of what they were trying to do. So all of a sudden, you had a bunch of receivers after he runs into Travis Kelce on the opening drive. You have receivers who hadn't repped any of the plays that they were running. That's hard, through the course of a game plan that was really built around we're going to exploit the Chargers defense by using Worthy's speed. So we'll see how they adjust now going into week 2. I'm not making any bold proclamations, but it does seem like, the Bills and the Ravens are the two teams that you look at in the AFC. My other reaction coming off that game, by the way, was you watch Lamar and Josh Allen. I don't know that there's a whole lot of guys anywhere close to their level. There might be, in a given year, 3 or 4 or 5 truly elite quarterbacks, and then you kind of draw a line, and it's everybody else. And if you don't have that guy, you better be really good in terms of building up everything else on your roster in order to be competitive in the modern NFL. Look back over the last 9 Super Bowl winners. 8 of them have either been Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, or the Eagles. The only exception to that is the Rams in 2021, which was just kind of a different year. It's the one year that Mahomes didn't go to the Super Bowl because the Bengals, Joe Burrow, beat him. So the Eagles have built this for a long time with Howie Roseman. They have a juggernaut of a roster. Other than that, it's like you got to have the quarterback who's just better than everybody else. And those teams that are, paying the 10th or 15th best quarterback $40, $45, $50 million per year, you'll see that play out through the course of the season. It does hamstring you, and you can end up in a kind of quarterback purgatory.
Hey, Tom, way to go, man. By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, Michael Penix is the one we're going to see on Sunday night. For those of us who haven't watched a lot of his pro run yet, what is the vibe around Penix in Atlanta so far?
Well, they're excited about Michael Penix. It was a bumpy ride overall in the opener. There were a lot of things that they could have done better. They could have protected him better, obviously. With Penix, one thing that was kind of interesting through the pre-draft process was people talking about the last game he played, which obviously didn't end well. It was against J.J. McCarthy in the college football playoff. But he showed more athletic ability, more run ability than he'd ever shown through the course of his career. It makes sense because the guy had 3 major season-ending injuries, and you just don't want to expose yourself as a runner. But you saw that last week against Tampa, too, where when he needs to do it in the red zone, he is capable, even though he ran for basically no yards in his time at Washington, he is capable of getting out and running a little bit. So I'll be interested to see how Brian Flores attacks him this week. You saw, with Caleb Williams, who was doing most of his damage. He was, pretty efficient. He was playing on time a little bit in the early going, but then you saw Caleb kind of revert into what he's done in the past, which is run all over the place. He is really athletic. He can make freaky arm angle throws. You saw one along the sideline last week. But the moment that Brian Flores gets you running around, even though it's fun to watch Caleb run around, that's playing into Flo's game. He threw a lot at the Bears in the second half. You saw him blitz substantially more. We'll see kind of the cat and mouse game with what he throws at Michael Penix here. But that Flo always has those blitz packages in his back pocket. Even if you don't see him in the early going, you're going to see him eventually here. Sounds like Drake London will play. Sounds like Darnell Mooney's got a pretty good shot to play, and obviously you got to deal with Bijan Robinson in that offense as well. So it should be a really fun matchup on Sunday night with 2 young quarterbacks who may not be in that same category that everybody talks about, like Jaden Daniels, who we'll see tonight. But you're hoping the upside on both those guys. That's why you take them in the top 10.
Tom Pelissero, courtesy of Bell Bank. Another question about the quarterback situation in Atlanta, and that is our guy, Kirk Cousins. What have you heard? What have you heard about? I know that he's still on the trade block, although Atlanta's going to ask for a lot in return. But, like, is he just poised to sit there the whole year and really just be a high-priced backup? Or is there a team that you think is floating around out there that's kind of sniffing around Kirk Cousins?
Everybody, if they lose their quarterback, particularly the teams that run that system, are going to have Kirk Cousins on the short list. But the Falcons, we can say he's on the trade block, and sure, would they move him? Yes, but it's not a giveaway. They've shown zero urgency to trade Kirk Cousins. Part of that might be Michael Penix Jr.'s injury history and the reality that Kirk might have to play at some point this season for the Falcons. If you're paying your backup quarterback $27.5 million fully guaranteed, you'd like to think that he's going to step in and play really well. The thing with Kirk through the course of the offseason, there were sniffs around him going all the way back to February and March. But there was never really like an obvious spot that materialized. The Falcons, or excuse me, not the Falcons, the Rams, had they traded Matthew Stafford, which was a real discussion. They would have probably pivoted to Aaron Rodgers. If they didn't get Aaron Rodgers, then the pivot probably would have been exploring a trade for Kirk Cousins. And if Stafford's back flares up again and all of a sudden he's out for the year, or something happens to Jimmy Garoppolo, you'd think Kirk could be there as well. But the only teams that ever really made sense would have been if the Rams had fallen Kirk's way, or potentially the Steelers. And the Steelers, they tried to bring back Justin Fields. He elected to go to the Jets. They tried to get Matthew Stafford. Ultimately, the Rams decided to keep Stafford. They never really showed urgency to bring back Russell Wilson, who ends up obviously with the Giants. If they had not gotten Aaron Rodgers, then they probably would have been seeing if there was a trade to be made for Kirk Cousins. But I can tell you this, I talked to multiple GMs who had talked to the Falcons, whether it was back in, the early stage of the offseason through the spring into the summer. And there was no like, all right, what's the price? It was just kind of like, we're not really interested in trading him. In other words, you're going to have to blow us away with an offer. What does that look like? Is that a mid-round pick? Is it like a third-rounder for Kirk Cousins? I would say this, and Vikings fans remember from the year that Teddy Bridgewater went down right before the season, your best value in terms of trading a player, particularly a quarterback, comes if somebody gets desperate. If all of a sudden starting quarterback goes down for the season and you would have had no market for Sam Bradford, all of a sudden, a first-round pick and more becomes possible. And so the Falcons had the benefit of sitting, waiting, seeing exactly what plays out, and maybe in a desperate situation, if somebody gets hurt, there's more of a market for Kirk. You also have to remember, though, he's got a no-trade clause. He can veto any trade. I don't know how urgently Kirk is going to want to go to someplace if he doesn't have a relationship with the coaches, if he doesn't know the system. His best chance for playing well might be if something happens to Michael Penix Jr. in Atlanta. But, it's early. Quarterback injuries happen every year. We'll see if potentially, something arises out there through the course of the season that makes sense for Kirk.
Hey, Tom, obviously, injuries are inevitable. Vikings fans were super excited about this defense, but now we see Blake Cashman going down with the injury. He's the green dot guy. He's the quarterback of our defense. You look back on last year when Blake Cashman went down after week 5, the Vikings lost 2 straight to the Lions and the Rams. You want that guy, Blake Cashman, out on your defense. How big of a loss is he for the Vikings defense, and what do they do kind of moving forward to make sure that they don't lose 2 straight like they did last year after they lost him?
Well, first of all, Blake Cashman might end up on injured reserve, which would knock him out for 4 games. It sounds like that's a real consideration. We'll probably get an answer on that around Saturday, which is usually when teams make IR moves. But regardless, he's going to miss some time here. I mean, credit to Eric Wilson stepping in and absolutely kicking ass in a tough spot on Monday night. I can't imagine that guy got a whole lot of opportunities to be a big piece of the defense. They do feel like they've got pretty good depth and they've got some veteran options on the team. There's no question losing Cashman hurts. But what did you see that the Vikings defense did after Cashman went out in the game? They ramped up the pressure. And I don't know that was a direct correlation here, but there's different ways you can play. And that's one of the reasons that if you're a Vikings fan, you should be thankful that Brian Flores is the coordinator, which is it's not, hey, this is our defense, this is how we play, and boy, we're just going to have to, apple for an apple here and plug a guy in. He can make a smoothie. He can throw 5 different things at you to make up for something. Every game plan is going to be different. I would certainly imagine this week's game plan is don't let Bijan Robinson in the run game or the pass game beat you. Take him away. Blake Cashman normally would certainly be a big part of that. But, in terms of, the trickle-down effect, they've gotten by without a lot of different things through the course of time here. It's a short week. That's going to create some additional challenges for them, but I would have full faith in Brian Flores, not just to have a plan, but to have several plans for how they're going to attack this thing Sunday night.
Tom, you're the best, dude.
Yeah, well, we see you at US Bank Stadium on Sunday night. Will you be with us this week?
I will not be at US Bank Stadium on Sunday night. I fully intend to be on the couch with a cocktail in hand by that point, which is really the best possible alternative. Week 3, though, I think tentatively I'll be there for Vikings-Bengals at US Bank.
Sweet.
Appreciate your time always, buddy. Nice job. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas. See ya.
Thanks to our friends at Bell Bank for bringing us .com Tom Pelissero.
Pretty cool.
And again, thank you to Sam Malone of Cheers for nominating the Children's Home Society of Minnesota. And Bell Bank will be making a donation in your honor, Sam, to your favorite charity, CHLSS.org. You can nominate your charity, KFAN.com. And Bell Bank will take care of you, too, every week, Thursday, thanks to Bell Bank and Tom Pelissero. We did have a cancellation from Jonathan Grenard real quick.
Oh, man, I was going to have Sauce do an intro.
Yeah. Oh,
Intro our next guest.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man.
I blew your bit.
That's all right. I wanted you to intro no one. That would have been fun to have you throw to him and then nobody was there.
Yeah. Do it anyway.
Yeah. Here to introduce our next guest is the fans, Paul Lambert.
Welcome to the show. One of the best. Position does he play?
It's your intro.
Military.
It's your intro.
One of the best linebackers in the NFL was stellar on Monday Night Football against the Bears in the big victory. Jonathan Grenard.
That's Parker Fox. That's not
Parker.
even close to Jonathan Grenard.
I could play linebacker.
You definitely could.
No,
I mean, you're older than Jonathan Grenard.
Doesn't mean. No,
I
that's
probably
a mean
am.
Is
thing
that
to
close?
say.
Hang on, let's look that up.
I bet.
Definitely close.
Jonathan
It's not
Grenard.
close. You're very young and attractive.
Grenard's 28.
Okay, he's got me by about a year and a half.
See?
6 months.
Yeah. Sauce. Go eat your ribs.
They were good, man. Those ribs are outstanding. Parker, I was trying to eat one in silence, and Parker comes around the corner.
Yeah.
And then he dropped
Then I
it.
dropped it because I was ashamed.
Don't
Yeah.
drop the rib.
Yeah.
You picked it up and ate it, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were that good.
All right, should we do headlines since we don't have Grenard?
Let's do it, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Now it's time for Headlines.
Headlines brought to you by my friends at Wolf River Electric and WolfRiverElectric.com. Go solar, get solar panels put on with Wolf River Electric. Thanks, Wolf River.
Yeah, man.
Get those solar panels, man. Come on. What are you doing? Tonight on TV, of course, Thursday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers host the Washington Commanders.
Oh, that's nice.
Go,
Rose.
Washington Commanders.
That's right.
A+ game. That'll be great.
That's right. Yeah, I think Green Bay comes back to earth a bit this week.
We'll see. They look pretty
I'll
good. in
take
week
the
one.
Packers -3.5. Anybody want juice?
You'll take the Packers -3.5. It's in Green Bay, right?
It's
Yes,
in
sir.
Green Bay. You just don't bet against Green Bay in Green Bay.
Especially because you're, 3.5. I'm not giving you points in Green Bay.
Yeah,
No,
I can't
no,
do
no.
that.
Seedings
I like
are.
Washington, but at
What?
home is
Thank you, Rosie.
tough.
Yeah.
Core?
No, I don't like gambling.
What? What happened to you?
Because here's what
Lies.
can happen. Here's how bad gambling can be. I have a hunch this is going to hit a little close to home for Chris.
How dare you?
Yeah, don't say that
Please
about
don't.
my
I'm
hogs,
having a good
Daddy.
day. Ben gave me a compliment. I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Hey, so did Sauce. He said, way to go, man.
Yeah, he didn't say that to me, though, did he?
I did. I couldn't remember.
A man jumped off of a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in Puerto Rico last weekend because he wanted to skip out on a gambling debt of just over $16,000 that he had run up at the casino on the ship.
That's sweet.
It gets weirder.
Did it
So-
work?
Well, so he jumps
Asking
off
for
the
a
ship,
friend.
Yeah.
jumps off the ship, trying to avoid 16.7. He was caught on surveillance camera jumping into the water near the shore, where he was picked up by people on jet skis.
Yeah.
Nice.
So had a legit escape plan.
This makes perfect sense to me.
The authorities had no trouble tracking him down. He was arrested. He's now facing $250,000 in fines. That's more than $16,000. And up to 5 years in prison.
If you can't afford to pay 16, what's it matter if it's 16 or $250,000?
Yeah, good point.
I mean,
well played.
Here's the rub.
Oh,
Ooh, get
this
over
is
it.
hockey.
Who's rubbing?
When they found him on
Somebody in
shore, even though he had jumped in the water, he had $14,600 in cash on him.
Oh, so it was kind of a
Just didn't want to pay.
it was kind of a bad scam because he still lost money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 14 grand in his pocket, but he was down 16 grand. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just got to jump off the
Yeah,
ship.
you got to know when to fold them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to swim for it, baby. I get it.
Yeah.
I feel his pain. I get it.
Here's how bad my memory is. part of me is screaming at myself saying, we just talked about this 2 days ago. And part of me is like, have we ever talked about this? So I don't know if this literally was discussed this week,
Okay.
or if I read it for the first time and I'm just telling myself we just talked about this. I don't know which one is true. I hate getting older. I'm losing my mind.
Beats the alternative.
True. The idea of free refills dates back to American coffee houses in the 19th century. But Taco Bell started it when it comes to fast food. Didn't know that. At least I don't think I knew that.
I didn't know that either. No.
idea.
Taco Bell is created with being the first fast food chain to make free refills a thing. What year did free refills at fast food become a thing?
Well, let's
Pull your hands up.
Do we think Zacho knows?
He's probably the one that told us.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
He's
Yeah.
going to get as close as anybody because he probably knows when Taco Bell came into existence. When did McDonald's start? Does anybody know off the top of your head?
50s?
The 50s. So I'm going to guess Taco Bell's probably 70s. So I'm going to say 1974.
I'm going to say 83.
71.
Zach?
Let's see if Zach can get this.
Oh, I don't have it in mind. Zacho?
I'm thinking it was probably early 90s. And I'm going to say 92. It's later than you'd expect.
Kid's a savant. 1988.
Wow.
Okay.
He just knows
88.
sodas at fast food joints better than anyone else. And of course, it didn't hurt their bottom line, Zachary, because Pepsi bought Taco Bell 10 years earlier.
I forgot about that. It is a PepsiCo.
That's what I was wondering if that was related.
You know what's
You
weird?
love Pepsi.
Zacho, imagine growing up in the world I grew up in. This is going to sound like pure hell to you. Are you ready for this? In 1988, I was starting my senior year of high school, and Taco Bell to me was like Toys R Us. I only saw it and heard about it on television. I'd never been to one, and I'd never seen one. We didn't have one anywhere near me. Same with Taco Bell. Growing up, seeing those commercials about I'm a Toys R Us kid, I'm like, shut up, kid. I don't know where there's a Toys R Us. I've never seen one, but it looks like heaven. Imagine that hell, Zach.
I can't, man. I tell you, we are
Don't cry.
blessed
It's okay.
It's choked up.
to have grown up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
At least Sauce and I.
Yeah, man.
Corey had a Dairy Queen. That's about it.
The hell's that supposed to mean? What do you got against Chisago?
Saw Robin Williams.
What's wrong with Matamita?
Nothing. My buddy just moved
Where?
up to Chisago.
Yeah, do you hate Matamidi?
Where's that?
It's
Where?
to the right.
Whoa.
It's actually shockingly close to White Bear Lake.
Montemita has absolutely nothing. They have to come to us to have, they have to use our McDonald's. They have to use all of our stuff.
Why is he like
Your mall.
My mall.
Even
Yeah.
though that's Maplewood.
That's
Your
Maplewood. That's not even your mall.
That's not even your mall.
You don't got Four Seasons.
Don't you have the meth?
That's
Yeah,
Maplewood too.
That's Maplewood.
Oh my.
We have
White Bear Lake likes to think they're Maplewood because it's so close.
Yeah.
They have Jimmy's. That's Vandas Heights.
The strip club?
You
Yeah,
can
see,
get
they
those
don't even
at
have
the-
Jimmy's.
You can get them in the gas station bathroom.
Yeah.
Cup and
Hawk probably
Cone.
has them in his car.
I got one in my wallet since 1964.
You were born then. How did you
This is my
did you
grandpa's
steal
wallet.
somebody's wallet? Are you?
Grandpa?
My grandpa's
robbed
wallet.
Why did he need that?
Yeah,
No, he ain't using
Yeah,
that.
he was using Jimmy's.
No way.
Not a chance.
He was
never wore
spraying
one in his life.
spraying and praying.
That's a good one. I like that. This would be the name of your new album.
Australia has approved the first vaccine to protect koalas against chlamydia.
About time.
Yeah, Hawks wondered where
You know,
they
those-
got
join that group.
Just koalas, not humans.
Those koala scientists have been working so hard
Yeah.
for so long.
Great people over there.
Please donate to Koalas Against Chlamydia today.
Hawks the spokesperson.
All that's going to do is
Have
open.
you supped to the zero in Denver? I have.
Just open it up in a whole new species to a bunch of perverts is all it's going to do.
Interesting way to
the guy
take that
you
story.
stole the wallet from.
My grandpa.
A couple
He
in
was a
Shanghai,
furry.
China, has filed for divorce after 2 years of marriage.
I get it.
Oh, no. Help me make it through.
They only lasted 2 years. They had a baby boy last year, too.
Oh, well, that's sad.
Yep. They have any other option?
Well said. The reason why they got divorced is the baby.
Oh, that's gross.
One of them had a name that they wanted to name the boy. The other one had a name they wanted to name the boy. They wouldn't budge. So without a name, they couldn't get a birth certificate. So a lot of important things got stuck in limbo, even basic medical procedures. In the year since the boy's birth, the hospital tried to issue a makeshift birth certificate, and the court tried to force the parents to get their stuff together for the sake of the kid, but nothing worked. So they wouldn't budge. That's the name I want. That's the name you want. They end up getting divorced over the kid's name. And now, of course, they're in a custody battle over the boy who is yet to be named.
What was the
Bills?
Dang.
Did one want Berkeley?
Is that where you're going to?
Oh, my God.
What was the name?
Berkeley Paul Lambert.
Was it Kurt Bills?
Yeah, was that the name?
Can you imagine?
Did you hear what Tommy suggested?
Oh, no.
Big balls.
Apparently, that
Tommy,
What a
don't
great
say
transition, Tommy, because it sounds like the new hot trend is Scrotox.
Oh, boy.
Which is exactly what you think. It's injecting Botox into the scrotum to, quote, reduce wrinkles.
What?
I've had trouble ever since.
Parker, you want Scrotox?
I need some.
Don't make him prove it, Zach.
I'm not going to make them.
Well, they had those. Have you ever seen those? They used to sell. It was like a washer for your nuts. They would have like literally like a
cup thing?
Yeah, like a cup, and they would like vibrate. You'd put
A washer?
What?
to wash your balls.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Women.
How about the thing that attaches to your car vent?
Car
The
vent.
hose?
Do you know
Have
what the
seen
name of
that?
the product was?
No.
What are you, nuts?
That's a good name for it. But it was like a hose, and it goes up your pants, and it connects to your car vent. So when you're driving down the road, the hose blows air up to your.
Sounds like a suicide machine.
You buy that on Double List, Zachary?
Yeah, Hawk has hot balls.
Yeah, boy.
I guess Pat agrees.
A 57-year-old inmate in the UK threatened to shoot a prison officer. Don't know if he has a gun, but
what kind of prison is
he
this?
threatened to shoot a prison officer after being served a baked potato for lunch.
Oh, that might be fun.
In prison?
It's the most
You should be so
baseless
lucky.
claim.
What an empty threat, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot you. You just gave me a baked potato. With what gun?
Yeah,
Mine?
your potato gun?
Come and get it.
Yes.
Good one.
Without butter?
No,
Yeah, man, I
baked
do love a
potatoes
baked
are
potato.
so good.
Give me a bakey tatey anytime.
Fully loaded.
Tatey.
I love them, man. Give me some sour cream, some
Oh, yeah.
cheese.
All of it. Extra sour cream.
Bacon bits.
Oh, sure.
Chives.
Yeah.
Parker, who do you got tomorrow? AJ, Hawk, or Sauce?
I think it's going to be a good one. Anyone but AJ, but
It's unanimous.
We got this, Saucy. It's me and you versus
Hogs
the world.
Daddy. Hogs
just
Daddy
combine
will win.
those scores.
Not allowed, but they might need that tomorrow.
Yeah, we
we'll
might.
see.
Big day. I'm already nervous.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
that'll be great.
Parker, thanks for coming in, man. We had a million guests, so thanks for being patient and waiting.
All good. Love you guys.
All right, dude.
Love
Parker
you, buddy.
Fox.
And by the way,
Love you,
he's
best.
moving to Wednesdays starting next week because we don't have enough room on Thursdays.
No, it's probably true.
Yeah.
With Tom, it is very busy on Thursdays.
It is.
All right, 9 to noon is next. Power Trip tomorrow, 5:30 to 9, including the Initials Invitational Championship tomorrow around 8:15 or 8:20 or so. And what are we at? 99,000, I think.
That's
tomorrow?
right,
I think
yes.
we're at $99,000 tomorrow, which is insane. All right, everybody have a good day. See you tomorrow at 5:30.
Everybody have a wonderful day.
You too, Abba Dabba. Take care of yourself. Everybody take care of each other, all right? You got to take care of yourself first. Everybody love each other.